Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 1 of the 10 Gallon Head Sports Podcast. First, I think we should discuss the elephant in the room, which is the Chiefs being AFC championships. That game has just now ended at the time of this recording. Kind of sucks for me because I predicted the Bengals winning that one, but it was a nail biter. Came down to the end. Chiefs were the better team, but overall, really good game. I just do not like seeing number 1 seed versus number 1 seed Super Bowls at all. But it is what it is. For predictions, I had an AFC, aka Bengals team, so I'm going to need the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. But I don't think they will, and I think I'm probably going to end off 7-6 this year, which sucks. Because last year I was 8-5, and I wanted to beat that record, but I'm either going to tie it or make it worse. So, anyway, welcome to the first official 10 Gallon Head podcast episode. First, this is just a little bit about me. 16 from small town Ohio. Also, a controversial thing I know is I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. We probably the most clowned on team in the NFL. Sucks to be a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your hopes up every year, either losing the wild card, make it to divisional, and lose the divisional. Like so this year, we lost to the 49ers. But I'm a very hopeful fan, I gotta say. There is potential next year, and I feel like I'm gonna say that every year. But if we do right choices and get a good offensive coordinator next year, we'll be good. But we will see. We will see. I was born, raised. My dad's a huge Dallas fan. His whole family is. So that kind of applied for me being a Dallas fan as well. So I didn't really start paying attention to them around 2016-17 era. Of course, when they were really good. We got the number 1 seed that year, just to lose in the field goal by the Packers. But it is what it is. And then I got more into depth and positions and all that later on. I'd say probably when I was probably 2020, 2019. And yeah, I think NFL probably is my favorite sport to watch. NBA is a close second though. Speaking of NBA, the first sport that I got into was basketball. I even played in Little League, YMCA, stuff like that. Growing up in California, I love Steph Curry. He was a big role model on me. I really liked how he played, how he talked, his religion, so on and so forth. And I love the Warriors. Call me bandwagon. I'm from California. I don't care. I still do. I support them to their 2020 season. I think that was where they lost so many games, but it was rough. Next topic I think should be discussed. Astros fan, call me bandwagon. It's like I said, it comes from my dad's side. Texas fans, diehard Astros. So, and then I don't watch much hockey at all. I don't pay attention to the playoffs, but I'm an LA Kings fan. I love California teams. I can't say much about hockey until playoffs come around. So, and then finally, I feel like I'm a supporter of every state big college team I'm in. But for California, it was UCLA. But I feel like since I moved to Ohio, I've really connected with my college team instead of just rooting for them. So I really like the Ohio State Buckeyes when it comes to college football. With that being said, now that you know my favorite teams and I've went through them, I think that's a good introduction about me. Of course, the episode's not going to be that short, so I think that should be discussed is playoffs that are happening right now in the NFL. So, for starters, when I look at my thing, I am 7-5 right now for playoff predictions after AFC's game. I got that playoff prediction wrong. So now, since my playoff prediction's already locked in, I need the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, the AFC team, to beat the Eagles to end off 8-5, which sucks because last year I was also 8-5 for my predictions of the NFL playoffs. See, I think everyone got wrong the Jaguars Chargers because I don't think anyone saw that comeback coming. I feel like the Chargers defense let up towards the end of the game. I think that's when it came with the opportunity for the Jacks to come in. and strike, and I think they did really good with that, and it was like amazing. Of course, they just lost to the Chiefs next round, but no one saw the Jags going that far. Nobody. So like, I was happy for them that they just made it to the second round. Like, unless you're like a good team and you lose in the second round, then that's bad. Like, aka the Cowboys. But I had the Cowboys win in the second round too, so I got that prediction wrong, sadly. But like, we really could have. Okay, okay, here's gonna be a topic. What Dallas needs to fix to be a good team? Okay, number one, the biggest one, quarterback. Look, I love Dak. I love his story. I love how he came in as a fourth round pick, led the team to the number one seed his first year. Of course, lost the Packers, but this game meant a lot for his legacy, and I think he just screwed that up. He really did. He threw like what, two interceptions. The defense did so much. The defense was phenomenal that game. Our defense was top tier. We were holding them to the run. We were holding Brock Purdy. And then we finally got tired at the end. But what did Dak do? Nothing. He did absolutely nothing. And then they came back and scored some points. Well, shocker, because the defense was tired. So I feel like we all Cowboys fans want is a new QB. But I feel we all know that Jerry Jones is just going to come and announce that he's going to be a starter next year and year after that until he retires, which is a sad truth that we got to face. We're going to be good. Like, we're going to be like a 12-5 team every year, and then we're either going to lose in the wild card divisional. It's just that simple if we don't fix our quarterback situation. Because Dak threw for 200-some yards, got 2 interceptions, and only 1 touchdown pass. He relied a lot. He relied a lot on Lamb that game and Schultz. Which, don't get me wrong, we have great receivers when it comes to that. We have CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, Hilton, uh, Gallup. Gallup's been great this whole year. His hands are amazing. And then we have great running backs. We got Zeke. We got Tony Pollard. That's just rushing for that. We never got Odell. The Odell thing never did happen in the end. So I don't know what happened. There's rumors about him going to the Chargers, but that never happened either. And then defensive side of things, we got Donovan Wilson, DeMarcus Lawrence, Van Der Esch, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs. All notable names, all great names. But in the end, it just wasn't enough. And that last play was just so bad with Zeke as the center. I don't know what we were trying to do. I know we were gonna like try to like throw it around the field, but like we gave it to Turpin, and then Turpin just got tackled. It was bad. It really was. But the 49ers did not. I don't care what you say. The 49ers would suck that game. They suck. They really do. They suck. That's why they got blown out by the Eagles. And when you go against a team that also has a quarterback that sucks, it's not gonna go well. I'm gonna tell you that. Dak was 23 for 37 that night, and then Brock Purdy was 19 for 29. He had 0 touchdown passes. That just shows you he relies a lot on Christian McCaffrey. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Brock Purdy's not a good quarterback. He's just on a loaded team. Think about it. You got Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Juan Jennings. Like, this team is like probably the most stacked it's ever been, and they're just like trying to close out the season, but it didn't happen with the Eagles game, obviously. But yeah, I feel like we could have won that game. We should have won that game, but in the end, like, just look at these scoring charts. Okay, we got 0 points in the first quarter. They got a field goal. Second quarter, we both got 6. Third quarter, we got 9. Fourth quarter, we got 3, and then that's when they come back and score 10. And I believe it was second quarter where Tony Pollard got injured, and then we went for it because we didn't trust in Brett Maher to kick a field goal, which, I mean, I think we should have kicked the field goal, but Maher did have a lot of trouble with kicking recently, but we're obviously going to drop him in the offseason, which I do not understand, like, still right now, because Maher was 50 for 53 in the He was 50 for 53 in the regular season, and he missed almost all of his points in the Tampa Bay game. It was ridiculous. If Tampa Bay hadn't been not the greatest of teams, we would have lost that game. But it was just wow because he lost his name Big Money Maher, but he struggled in the pregame of the 49ers game as well because he was on the field and missing extra kicks. It was just ridiculous to watch to see that, but we're gonna need a new kicker. But yeah, there's that. I should stop focusing on the Cowboys when it comes to playoffs. But besides Cowboys, we got the Super Bowl coming up. See, I hate this Super Bowl. I love the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong, but I hate seeing number one seed versus number one seed Super Bowls. They annoy me only because I don't like seeing no underdogs. It's just the top tier teams. That's why I really wanted the Bengals to win. And don't get me wrong, they almost did. They really did. They almost did. It was like it ended the same way last year, except the comeback didn't help in the end, and it got decided by field goal. And it was just ridiculous. But one thing I am excited to see is it's not excited. I'm cool. It's cool to see is the Kelsey brothers going head to head, but they both have a Super Bowl win. So in the end, we'll see who will get their second Super Bowl win. But I think it'll be Patrick Mahomes. And I don't say that because I hate the Eagles. I say it because I already locked in my thing and had the Bengals winning it all. So now I need an AFC team to win it all, aka the Chiefs, to end 8-5 on playoff predictions, same as last year, which sucks. I could either end the same or worse, which are both bad, but I'd rather take the same. Continuing on with the playoffs, we have the Bengals just getting eliminated. Sad to see. Love the Bengals, love their team, love their rebuild, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. A lot of their players are gonna be on free agency this year, so a lot of interesting things will happen. Or they're just all gonna sign back with the Bengals. We'll see. But Bengals and if they lose Jamar Chase, I don't know how I feel about them. But the Bengals, they struggled. I'll say they struggled the first half of the AFC Championship and really came back. But if they should have shown that the whole game, they would have easily won that. Because like think about the Bills game, they just shut down the Bills entirely. I lost count of how many times that Josh Allen got sacked. Josh Allen was 25 for 42 that game. He got an interception and he threw for 260 yards. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow was less yards, but he had better incompletions and 2 touchdown passes. Joe Mixon went off. They just held the Bills tightly and they did not let go at their own home, too, to make matters worse, to make things 3 years in a row that the Bills lose in the divisional, which is very sad to see. But in the end, the better team won, the Bengals. But that was a great game and all, and I think the Bills have a lot to work on because I feel like they're a good team, but all they don't really they need to find themselves on defense, and also their O line needs a little work on because defense first off they got Von Miller, but he's out, and in offense they got Josh Allen, they got Stephon Diggs, but I feel like Stephon he did not really throw to Stephon really that game. And I think that's why Stephon made that like comment about throw the ball to me or something like that. Stephon Diggs only got 35 yards. That he wasn't the top. He wasn't even in the top 3 receiving that game. He's a great wide receiver. I just don't know what they were trying to do there. But yeah, I don't know if Von Miller's a free agent or not next year. But I don't know. The Bills could potentially rebuild to make their team at least maybe. Because I feel like, let's be honest, the Bills are good every year, but I feel like they still need to work on something to fix that, like that spark in them that makes them that NFC Championship bound team. And I feel like to get that, you need to work more on your defense and not just say, "Oh, we have Von Miller," but that's funny because Von Miller just got injured, so like they just need to work on it there. So that's the first thing, a matter of hands. More teams' futures after their eliminations. I talked about the Jags in the playoffs, but offseason now, I'm gonna be real. The Jags have a lot of young talent. They really picked themselves back up towards the end of the season. They've been phenomenal. Trevor Lawrence is a smart quarterback, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags win a Super Bowl in the next 10 years. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of they already have the picks for the next couple drafts set. They don't really have any old heads on their team to worry about. So they have a lot of young potential, and they showed that. They really did. They put up a fight against the Chiefs. So I'm gonna say here that they're gonna be good next year. Teams that aren't gonna be good unless they find a QB, because I don't. We know Tom Brady's not going to Tampa, but unless they can find a better QB, I don't know about Tampa Bay. I really don't. I don't think they're gonna be a good team next year, but we'll see. But the Raiders, man, the Raiders, if they get a quarterback, they're a good team. They're set. Derek Carr's just not their guy. We found that out this whole season. But if they get a good quarterback like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, any of those guys, they are set for next year, and they can make a run to the Super Bowl. They would be good. They would be good. Team that goes off, and a team that can be good but will probably never be good in the next 5 years is the Broncos. Because think about it like this: the Broncos have a top 5 defense. People don't see that, but they do. They have a defense. They have a really good defense. Look it up. Look at it. Look at the statistics. They have a top 5 defense, but they have the worst offense in the league. And when you put a top 5 defense with the worst offense in the league, it's not going to go well. I think Russell Wilson's just struggling mentally and physically there. New players, new calls, new O-line. Maybe if you get more players that actually have potential on offense, maybe, and not just Melvin Gordon. That's so. I'm not even gonna get into that. Maybe you'll be a good team, but for now, I don't know about the Broncos being a good team next year. But the Chargers, on the other hand, same division. We're staying in the same division. The Chargers showed real. Look, I'm gonna be real. The Chargers really should have won that Jags game. Their defense just let up so much towards the end that I didn't even know what I was watching. But besides that, okay, everyone has their choke here and there. But besides that, the Chargers really picked themselves back up mid-season, and I think that they have a really great quarterback. Their running back's insane. Eckler, what's his name? He's insane. I've seen that guy play. He can just sneak through anyone and just get into the end zone. But Chargers good next year. And they're an off-season team that is I don't know where they stand at the moment, but I'm moving to a different division, of course. I don't know where they, but the Panthers really, I'm not gonna say we're good, but they fought towards the end of the year because I watched a lot of NFL games, besides my own team, and towards the end of the season, the Panthers really fought to try. They tried a lot to get into the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you, they were actually pretty decent on standards, and I think they have potential to take that crown away from Tampa and own their division. But going to a different division in the NFC, and I think a lot of people want me talking about this, is the Lions. Dude, it was insane. I'm gonna say it was phenomenal the way they picked themselves back up this season. They ended with a winning record. They didn't make the playoffs, but honestly, I think they were just happy with ending with a winning record because that was just great. On that last Packers game, great. They knocked the Packers out the playoffs, and honestly, they were just happy with that. And I think if they go the way they're going, they have potential to be a better team next year and not just be known as the crappy Lions, but they're good. And to close off my first official podcast episode, and it's a dumb way to close it off. I know you guys aren't going to agree with me, but the Cowboys could be good. Okay, the Cowboys are going to be good next year, if I'm being real. We're going to be good. If we still have Dak, we're still going to be good. But we're not going to be an NFC Championship bound team. It's simple as that. It's Dak Prescott. He's an on and off quarterback that doesn't make right decisions. He is not a good quarterback. He is not like he used to be. We need a new quarterback in Dallas. But until then, we're going to be good every year in the regular season. And then we're either going to lose in the wild card or the or the divisional, until we get a new quarterback situation. And I think it's as simple as that. But will Jerry Jones do it? It's really up to him. Let's be real. Dak's only worth maybe a round two pick, a round two pick, maybe. And there's a lot of good quarterbacks on free agency. Jerry Jones could easily get one. He has the money for it. We have the money for it. But it will happen once we get one. But there's that. And the offensive coordinator situation. I think we'll hire a good offensive coordinator. I'm glad. I'm glad that we fired ours, but we'll see. I really think we'll be good. I think our division will be good. The Commanders they picked themselves back up. They had a pickup season, but our whole division, NFC East, has been pretty good this season, pretty solid. I think they'll be pretty good next year too. I don't know about the Commanders, but they showed potential, but they picked themselves back up. But against bad teams, but they still picked themselves back up. But yeah, until we could figure out the QB situation, that I just don't know about Dallas. I really don't. There's a lot of QBs out there, but we'll see what happens. And San Fran has 4 to pick from, so maybe we could take one of those. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. That was the first official podcast of 10 Gallon Head Mic Podcast. I showed you my intro, showed you my teams, showed you my playoff thoughts, showed you my team thoughts, showed you my off-season thoughts of next year. That's just episode 1. Please follow, subscribe, whatever you're on, whatever you're tuning into. Do one of those. Like this, please. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless.